Next up at UFC 287, we have Shayilan Nuerdanbieke taking on Steve Garcia. Shayilan Nuerdanbieke is 39-10 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He is riding a 3-fight win streak. He's taking on Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is 13-5 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, and he is alternating wins and losses. This is another tough fight. This card is loaded with these mid-size favorites, right? Minus 190, plus 165. This whole card is loaded with stuff that kind of looks like that, right? Minus 220, stuff like that. And all of them are pretty competitive. This is another one. Shayilan Nuerdanbieke, he's a powerful grappler. He likes to come forward, big, heavy strikes. He's got that bully style where he'll get you against the cage and then just try to work takedowns from there. He will transition from one takedown to another pretty well. And if he's on top, he's got some really good pressure. His takedowns are not great, though, only at a 32%, but he does have a high average of 3 per fight. And he's coming off that win over Derek Minner, which almost canceled sports betting around the world. Steve Garcia is a tough guy to break down because he's decent everywhere, amazing nowhere, right? Solid grappler, good takedowns, decent boxing. He likes to come forward. He'll throw big strikes, and he'll look to set up those takedowns. His striking is solid. He's got nice movement. He does have power and speed, but again, he's not going to be the most powerful guy. He's not going to be the most technical guy. He's just sort of tough and good everywhere. He's coming off that win over Chase Hooper where he just basically beat the shit out of him in that first round. I think Shayilan wins this fight. The problem is, the only thing that's preventing me from betting the hell out of Shayilan is he's a low volume guy. I can't count on him to just throw a bunch of punches and then immediately start to wrestle. He'll take his time sometimes. And Steve Garcia won't take his time. Steve Garcia is a high volume guy. So if Shayilan doesn't get his hands going, doesn't immediately push against the cage, doesn't look to start grappling, I can see Steve Garcia start to win some of these rounds and steal some minutes here. So Shayilan's going to be the pick. Steve technically has a 100% takedown defense, but I think that's just sort of the matchups he's gotten so far in the UFC. So Shayilan's the pick for sure, but no bet for me until the significant strike lines drop. When those drop, BetOnline offers significant strikes. You just say who's going to get more between these two fighters. I'm going to go Steve. He has the higher output. Shayilan does get hit, low output. Odds are Steve Garcia is going to land more significant strikes, even if Shayilan gets his grappling going. So maybe we get a favorable line there. If we do, I'll hit that bet. If you're a premium member, make sure your Discord's linked because that's how you're going to find out about it, is through the Discord, because it's going to be after the betting video comes out. WeOnPicks.com, only $10 a month. And if you don't have BetOnline, sign up using our link at WeOnPicks.com/bets. And I'll send you $50. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I could not believe that this line was 2.5. It is something that I hammered. I mean, that's a free premium bet right there, and I think it's a good one because these boys are going to get after it. It's going to be Steve Garcia that is going to bring the absolute heat, fire, and tenacity into this fight very, very early on. So you mentioned the low volume of Shayilan. I don't think he's going to have a choice. He's going to either have to match the volume or get overwhelmed or get the takedown and use the wrestling immediately. And if you're on the Shayilan side and you're picking him, you're betting him, you think he's locked, you better hope that he gets a takedown early because he is going to be, Steve Garcia is going to be all over this dude. He's going to treat him just like that Chase Hooper fight. And it's up to Shayilan to either find the counters, be ready for it, find the counters, which I think he can. And I think he's able to knock out Steve Garcia pretty early with the pressure of Steve Garcia because he does have good counter punching, he does have good power, and Steve Garcia does get dropped like basically all the time. So I think he's going to be there with the shots, but if he's not there with the shots, he better be ready with a takedown because he is going to get overwhelmed by this guy Steve Garcia. He said he's coming in, he's bringing the fire in the first minute, he's going to come across. I believe him when he says it. You got to basically whose chin do you trust more is how I see this fight, especially in the first minute. And I trust Shayilan's chin more, and he's got the wrestling in his back pocket to kind of slow everything down if he needs it. So I like Shayilan here, but I wouldn't bet it because Steve Garcia, when you got somebody that's willing to risk it all, it's a dangerous, dangerous man, and he's one of those dudes.
No, I hear you. That's the only reason. It's the only reason I'm not all in on Shayilan here is because he can be low volume. I mean, look at the stats: 2.17 significant strikes landed per minute to 5.15. He's hit. He throws fewer and is hit with more. And that's why I like that significant strike bet when that drops. You going to hit that too? I mean, that's a good bet.
Well,
I think tell me it's a good bet. Tell me it's a good bet.
In theory, yeah. I mean, it is a very good one. It's probably going to be minus 300 something like that. But if they, I think this one could be quick, fast, in a hurry.
Sometimes they mess those up, honestly. Not mess them up, like not an error, but sometimes they'll be like, okay, 2-1 favorite. He's the underdog, and it'll be a decent line.
They messed up a line today, but they already refunded the bets.
Yeah, because like that was just a straight up error. Like, because sometimes we get lucky with the takedown props where they're like, oh, this guy's a nasty wrestler, and they'll give him like 8 takedowns. And it's like, yeah, he's a nasty wrestler, but he's got great control. People aren't standing up on him. He's not going to get to 8. So I'm hoping this will be somewhat similar, right? The underdog will have a decent, significant strike line. 8,900 to 7,300. You think Shayilan's going to win? You don't think this fight goes the distance, so you're going to spend the 8,900 on DraftKings?
Nope.
Too risky?
No. I'm leaning more and more to the Steve Garcia side. So I'm pretty 50-50 on this one.
I'm doing that with the main event, honestly. I keep going back and forth.
Fucking spoilers. Jesus Christ. Just turn the video off.
I mean, it's skipping anyway. So what's the point? Yours stopped skipping and mine still is, but I'm the host. If I leave, I think this whole thing shuts down.
Ouch.
Maybe we get a refund. Anyway, I agree. A little bit of a risky fight. 13 fights on this card. So 26 fighters. I don't know if I'm going to have either one of these guys on there. If I'm going to spend $8,900, I almost want to guarantee a finish, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. So we'll see. But anyway, 7,300 on Steve Garcia is very solid underdog money. So depending what your lineup looks like, he's a guy that will go out there and will work for your money.
He's gonna fight for your money. Anybody that puts money on Steve Garcia, he is gonna fight for your money.
No, 100%. Because he's not like, he's as tough as we saw last week with Steve. Who's the dude you saw at the airport? Got his ass kicked.
Peterson?
Yeah. He's as tough as Steve Peterson, but actually skilled. He's not just relying on the
He can't take shots like
tough.
Steve, I don't think. He's tough, but his chin only allows him so much.
Yeah, I mean, sure. He's incredibly tough with what he can control. You can't control your chin. That is what it is. But, all right, well, we're on the same side as this one. Super close fight. Probably going to leave it alone, other than Jacob already gave you a spoiler for one of his premium bets. He's going under on the round line. If you want to unlock all of the premium bets, WeWantPicks.com. It's freaking $10 a month. Like, let's be real. We've given you 45 units of net profit in the 4 pay-per-views this year already. So I imagine this will be another very, very successful weekend. And if you don't want the bets, we have all of the tools, all of the information to help you find your own spots. WeWantPicks.com at the top. Click Become a Member. $2.79, I'm assuming Canadian. Yes, Canadian from Wyatt Corm. Thanks, fellas. Premium has been a steal for $10 a month. Thank you very much, Wyatt. Genuinely appreciated, and like wholeheartedly, it's a massive success, meaning a lot of people are signing up. People are staying. Our customer retention is insane. It's growing, and we keep adding features and functionalities because it is my goal, my genuine goal, to make it like the biggest no-brainer. I want to create an environment where nobody can sell anything. You can't sell. We Want Picks is selling everything we're selling for $10.
You can always
nobody
sell
can
kidneys.
sell anything. You can't even get it. If it's more than $10, don't even bother. Don't even bother. There's people out there selling just a spreadsheet for $10 or just a spreadsheet for $5. I'm including everything. And then there's people that go, oh, if you give me $5, I'll give you this. If you give me $20, I'll give you that. That's absurd. $10 across the board. We're adding features and functionalities every single week. Not week. Every single month. And we're not touching the price point. I mentioned premium changed. I have my own page. Jacob has his own page. We have other analysts lined up. We're building their pages now. They will be up there soon. They'll be breaking down the PFLs, the Bellators, all these other cards, including UFC. That's just going to be added to premium for the same $10 a month. Phantom with, I don't know what CHF is, but 5 of those made it to the stream for the first time. 3 a.m. Join the Discord if you want to have a good time and good talks. Thank you very much, Phantom.
What's up, Phantom?
The Discord is
one too.
100% free. Premium members can link your Discord for alerts, but it is free to join. And $2 from Degenerate UFC fan Max Bet, Jacqueline Amorim. Simp bets always cash. Well,
That's true.
Thank you
That's
very much
true.
for the super chat.
They cash one way or the other.
Oh, Swiss francs. Look at us.
What?
That's what that money was.